Hi, this is Hamada and welcome to Final 50. Today we are in Cairo and it's about 104 degrees outside, but today we are doing something special. We are fasting here in the city for Ramadan, which means no food and yes, no water. So follow me as we continue a journey today, checking out all the different chapters in Egypt's history to buy time until we can eat at night tonight. Let's do this.
So what is Ramadan and why do people do it? Ramadan essentially is one of the 5 pillars of Islam and is used as a month of spirituality, a closer connection to God and your greater community, including your family, friends, and those at large. Now by fasting, which essentially you don't eat from sunrise all the way to sunset, you're also feeling a sense of humility and a sense of proximity and closeness to those who don't have the ability to eat regularly like we may normally be able to do. But also it's a time of giving back, whether it's making food for other people, giving and donating to a mosque, donating to communities. These are such core qualities, whether it's giving back, the sense of humility, the sense of community, the sense of spirituality, that really keeps us grounded. Now I started fasting right here in Egypt when I was around 14, 15 years old and have been doing it ever since. And it really has provided me with these really core key values that I very much enjoy doing every year, and I'm really happy that I'm able to observe and celebrate this time in Egypt for Ramadan.
All right, it's 3:15 in the morning, so I'm having Sahoor, which really provides you with the energy to be able to weather the fast for the next day. So typically, since I'm in Egypt, so when in Rome, I have fool, which is also mashed together with olive oil, and I've put chia seeds in it. Sprinkle a tiny little bit of salt, you don't want too much salt. I've got yogurt with a little bit of brown bread, some fruit, some vitamins, and then the key to success, chia seeds and water or yogurt or something you eat, because this is what really helps prevent dehydration the next day, because the seeds kind of almost expand, take in water, and then just kind of gives you a slow release throughout the day. So this is my suhoor. Hopefully this will help me power through the next day for fast.
The official call to prayer at Fajr, which is just before dawn around 4 a.m., signals the start of a new day of Ramadan, and at this point you have to stop eating and drinking.
So good morning, we had Sahoor and I'm feeling bright and energized to start the day and fast here in Cairo, Egypt, fasting every day, but today we're gonna film it and make it a little bit more challenging by actually fasting in about 104 degree weather. And in the middle of all of that, instead of sitting at home, we're gonna go out and explore the capital and see the different chapters in its history, from ancient, the pyramids, all the way through to the more modern times. And we're gonna break fast in the Islamic part of Cairo. Let's go get it. Let's see this experience. Enjoy it with me. All right, our first stop, the pyramids. Obviously, let's start in the most ancient, but also because it's the further out from town. And so we want to get out there before it gets super, super hot, because we are literally going to be in the desert. Let's do this.
Well, welcome to the pyramids of Giza. It's getting super hot, but we're buying time and we're enjoying it out here. So let's go take a quick look and check out the pyramids. We may even be able to go inside.
The Sphinx is kind of like a guardian to the whole area. And what's interesting about it is the face of the Sphinx is actually the face of one of the pharaohs. I believe the pharaoh of that pyramid right behind it. Because the pyramids were actually created as tombs for the pharaohs. And so in this case, they actually built not only a tomb for the pharaoh, but also the likeness for the Sphinx right over behind you. These were built around 2600 BC or BCE, which is about 4,500 plus years from where we are right now. So these are incredible and the last standing ancient wonders of the world. We're gonna go inside the big pyramid. I haven't done this in probably 25 years, so hope I don't overheat in there.
The largest pyramid, Khufu, is about 146 meters high, which was the tallest man-made structure for almost 4,000 years. Now, going inside the pyramid, though, is not for those who are claustrophobic. I entered from what is known as the Robber's Tunnel and climbed up into the Grand Gallery and then into the King's Chamber, where there was a granite sarcophagus. Such an unreal experience. But I have to say, it felt unnaturally cooler inside, and I was thinking, wow, this must be some sort of ancient technological innovation. But then I discovered it was only a portable AC.
Noon check-in. It's hot. Thankfully, it's not humid, but I'm parched and ready to head out to the next part of our tour of Cairo and check out the next chapter. Wish me luck. Let's go.
Over the past 10 years, there has been a huge push for infrastructural development in and around Cairo. Roads, bridges, tunnels, public transportation, luxury communities, shopping malls, all in the outskirts of the capital, centering around major satellite cities that now make up this new modern Cairo. Yet another chapter in the city's ever-evolving history.
All right down there is Tahrir Square, which you guys may have heard of from the revolution in 2011, but apparently you can't film in Tahrir Square, which is pretty crazy, given that it's a super central part of town. So you can only take pictures. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cross probably the most famous bridge in Cairo, probably in Egypt, which is Asr al-Nil Bridge, where you see these statues of these lions on either side of me. The bridge was built in the 1930s. The first bridge was built in the 1870s, I believe, and then they rebuilt it here. This is kind of one of the relics of the monarchy time into the British time. In fact, over here, that hotel over there is where the British had their barracks before they were taken down and the British left during the colonial period. Our next stop is Cairo Tower. Really cool building, which actually turns out to be the highest building in Egypt. It was built by a very staunch Arab nationalist, Gamal Abdel Nasser, and he built it with money that came apparently from the CIA to him personally. $1 to $3 million to be able to tell him or to ask him to stop supporting the Algerian Revolution. Instead, what he did is he took the money, built this bad boy from 1956 to 1961 right across the American embassy, right across to the Nile, where we kind of were. And by doing so, kind of stood in the face of America and said, the hell with neo-colonialism. I'm gonna build this building as a remembrance of Arab nationalism. And it's built kind of with a little bit of an Egyptian lotus flower kind of appeal, but also a very strong stance that it took in terms of the structure that it has. Let's go check it out.
We've got a beautiful view from here, from the Cairo Tower, but really an incredible way to see all of Egypt's history literally from one location, from as far away as the pyramids, which you're not gonna be able to see today because it's so dusty and so hot and muggy. But as far as like the Citadel from Muhammad Ali from the 1800s, down the Nile.
All right, 3 p.m. check, tired. One of the worst parts of fasting is the fact that since you don't eat, and you can't brush your teeth regularly because you're out, your breath is kicking. So now we are just going to start making our way to the next destination, take a pit stop, maybe change some clothes since I'm sweaty, and then head out and check out the next chapter before we munch time.
All right, for the next part of the trip and the next chapter in Egypt's history, I'm going to be joined by a good friend of mine. I swear to God, we're not stalking each other. You may have recognized him from our Portugal video, from our skiing video, and now he's with me in Egypt. He's Egyptian, so he's going to take us on the finest tour. And we're heading to where right now?
We're going to go have the best food in Khan Khalili and Naguib Mahfoud's coffee place or restaurant. It's really great.
En route to Khan Khalili, we're going to stop quickly in Abdin Palace, which is where the king, or I guess the Pasha, the Khedive of Egypt, lived. And we're going to go to the Abdin Palace, which is a beautiful location right in the middle of kind of colonial old parts of Cairo.
A great example of Egypt's royal past is the European-styled Abdin Palace in central Cairo, built in the 1860s by the prodigal Khedive Ismail. It has over 500 rooms and is still used for government purposes. In 1952, the last king of Egypt, King Farouk, was overthrown from the palace, ushering in a new nationalist socialist era in Egypt's history.
Really beautiful building, I think right smack in a very crowded part of Cairo, Bab el-Lou. But really beautiful building, a lot of solitude right here, very quiet and tranquil. Definitely worth visiting.
We were now running against the clock through crazy Cairo traffic to get to Khan Khalili before sunset. Khan Khalili is special as it was founded almost 1,000 years ago by the Mamluks and is still used as a functional marketplace for those selling crafts, jewelry, art, clothes, and traditional items to locals and tourists alike, and stands in the center of Islamic Cairo.
It's about 5:45. Iftar is in about half an hour, so everybody's kind of rushing, trying to get to where they want to go. Right behind us is the Hussein Mosque. So we are now in Naguib Mahfoud's Cafe. Why did you pick this spot?
Because I think it's as authentic as it can get in Ramadan.
And it's right in the heart of Khan Khalili, so that was super convenient. And why do you think Ramadan is best had in Egypt? What makes Egyptian Ramadan awesome?
I'm biased, I'm Egyptian, so by default family and friends are here.
Okay.
And all the great food and just everybody eat at the same time is just an amazing experience.
Breaking fast, or Iftar in Cairo, is quite an exciting time. People are literally scrambling to get to their destinations to eat with their family and friends before the famous cannon is literally fired to signal that the sun has dipped over the horizon and it is time to eat. After which, the streets become eerie quiet. Even the street cats and dogs are eating.
Finally, with my friends, Saif, Naveen, and of course, Ahmed. And now we're eating chicken soup. We got a little sweetness here. Molokhia, I can't even begin to explain that. Bread, kidney, meat pie, okra, and then a whole list of different types of appetizers. Okay, well, thanks to Naveen, we're here in Shara Muaz, which is a less crowded, more authentic part of the Khan Khalili area. And what's really cool about it is that they really doll it up for Ramadan.
After you break fast, it is worth going out and enjoying all that the nightlife of Ramadan has to offer. In Cairo, this is truly one of the best parts of fasting here. You can see incredible lights and lamps of Ramadan, very traditional in Egypt, street food and desserts, outings on the Nile, people playing games, watching TV, smoking hookah in cafes, and generally enjoying the time to eat before repeating the whole process of fasting the next day. Ramadan is such a special time of year for Muslims all over the world. And for me, I love learning about the holy month and fasting while growing up in this vibrant capital in my youth. Coming back to Cairo during Ramadan and revisiting the city's amazing history, spending time with friends, tasting the delicious cuisine of the country, and enjoying the nightlife that makes Cairo such an incredible place to spend Ramadan was truly a special experience for me.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this tour of the beautiful city of Cairo and got to see why it's such a beautiful place to pass the holy month of Ramadan and got to enjoy all the different chapters in its history. Now make sure to check out the blog that complements this vlog, and if you like what you saw, click over here. In the meantime, stay curious, and I look forward to seeing you on my next journey.